welcome back to The Give and Go. I'm your host, Reynoso, wanting to thank all of you, first and foremost, for the activity that we've seen. We just received our Spotify Wrapped. We got the analytics back, and the growth and the support from our Spotify community, as well as our Apple Podcast and YouTube community, deserves to be noted. Guys, thank you so much. Top 5% of podcasts on Spotify. That to me is our greatest achievement when it comes to that platform, because I looked it up. There's 300 video podcasts on the platform. Top 5% means we're in the top 15,000. That's crazy. And that's thanks to all you guys that love sharing your passion, your opinions, your takes on this beautiful sport alongside me and Saltero, who unfortunately won't be here for this episode because that fool's out partying. He's at fucking Cancun having a great time, having a week off of celebration. And hey, he deserves it, man. He's watching too much soccer right now. He needs a break. He needs to rest his eyes. But regardless, guys, I want to give a big thank you and shout out to our YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcast communities. Thank you guys so much. Let's keep building. We want to have a big 2025. And I think we will, given how supportive and how awesome this community is. Now, if you've been listening to the show for a while, y'all know that I'm more of a vibes guy. I'm more of an energy guy. I like passion. I like story a lot in football. So the way I want to start this episode off is by acknowledging two of the biggest stories happening here in the Americas, with the LA Galaxy being crowned 2024 MLS Cup champions. What a victory over the New York Red Bulls. LA gets New York's number again, not just in soccer, but after what we saw the Dodgers do to the Yankees in the World Series, the LA Galaxy do the same thing to the New York Red Bulls. Incredible as they lift their 6th MLS Cup, their first MLS Cup since 2014. And what I love about it is that it's so deserved. This is one of the most storied franchises in the MLS, one of the best fan bases as well. Saltero and I got to go to the stadium in Carson, visit and watch a game live and experience it in person for the first time. And we absolutely loved it, man. The community there, the vibes are incredible. And that was during one of their worst seasons last year. I can't imagine how crazy it was this year with just the team that they have representing their city. It's truly incredible. LA Galaxy wins it, and what I love about this is just the stories at play. I mean, let's start with it. No Ricky Pooch, and ultimately, no problem. Incredible how this offensive line held their own despite not having their best player available, because for as good as Paintsel is, for as good as Joveljic is, for as good as Gabriel Peck is, their best player, their star player is Ricky Pooch, the man who came in, changed this franchise, put the team on his back, and absolutely showed out this season, but then ultimately got ruled out of the final due to a torn ACL in that semifinal match. I can't believe it. Apparently he played for 30 minutes straight on a torn ACL in that semifinal game. I can't believe it. The story is crazy. Regardless, I still had confidence in this offensive line because they're truly that good. They have that much firepower, and it showed with 2 quick back-to-back goals in the first 20 minutes to essentially seal the match. Because yes, New York got back into this game with Sean Nealis getting a goal back off of a corner kick, but still, that confidence remained for myself watching LA Galaxy hold their own. The defense, I think, was great in this game, and how Brugman and Delgado stepped up in that midfield due to Ricky Puch's absence cannot be understated. They play their roles perfectly, and they were able to fulfill the absence of what was their star player. LA Galaxy sees this game out, man. It's an absolute party, man. I'm thinking about my boy Eli Lesser. I'm thinking about my boy Diego FIFA. I'm thinking about all the content creators over there in LA, man, because the vibes look truly amazing. I'm jealous that I didn't get to go. Marco Reus winning his first league title. That's another narrative at play here. The German coming over and in his first year, although he wasn't here for the entire season, is able to be a part of a title winning side. Great for him. Greg Vanney, I thought, great coach this season, had a great performance, played for the LA Galaxy in his own career, gets to coach him starting in 2021 and brings them glory in 2024, 10 years since they last won the trophy. And now in the MLS, I do think LA Galaxy are the deserved best team in the MLS this year. Despite how good Inter Miami was during the regular season, I think their flaws were exposed with how reliant they are on Messi and Luis Suarez. And if neither two of those players perform at their absolute best, they can't be exposed like how Atlanta United exposed that. What I love about LA Galaxy is that they have such incredible chemistry, such good cohesion up top that even if you're missing your best player, you can still rely on your front three to cook these defenses. And they actually did, bro. So congratulations to the LA Galaxy. Deserved victory here. If we got any LA Galaxy fans watching this show, please comment down below. Give me W's in the chat because this is just history right here. It's history with their 6th MLS Cup being lifted. And staying in the Americas, we have another rightful winner. Let's go over to Brazil, folks. Let's get Brazilian with it because finally, after a year of, you could say, drama, of chaos, having lost the league title last year, Botafogo bounced back by not just winning the Copa Libertadores, but also the Brazilian league title as well, as they sealed the deal today against Sao Paulo, and Palmeiras got the favorable result against Fluminense. Botafogo are now finally crowned Brazilian League title champions, man. A round of applause, please, because that is truly incredible after the absolute implosion that we saw last year. I couldn't believe it, man. We highlighted Botafogo, and I really tried to build that narrative on the podcast of, like, watch out for this team. Their first title in so many years. They're gonna do it this year. Things are exciting. The vibes are great. I want to see Botafogo do it, bro. I really do. And with 21 games left in the season, oh my God, will they be able to pull it off? And then the vibes got shot dead in the streets like the United Healthcare CEO. Man, things got ugly for Botafogo, bro. One of the worst implosions we've seen in the chase of a league title. And I just didn't know how they would bounce back from that, man. I really didn't, because it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Truly, one of the worst things I've ever seen. A complete choke job, if you will. But the way they responded is by winning not one, but 2 of the biggest trophies. They got the fucking double, man. Botafogo avenges their demons as they celebrate an absolute party at the Estadio Nilton Santos, winning the double. I can't believe it, bro. The vibes, incredible. Incredible. Igor Jesus, Jefferson Savarino, Luis Enrique, Gregory, Marlon Freitas, and that entire defensive line really took on the responsibility of bouncing back after what we saw last year and giving the Botafogo fans the things that they deserve, which is glory, which is victory, which is being able to say that they are the best team in South America, and in my opinion, the best team in all of the Americas. Because we look at LA Galaxy, we look at Racing Club, we look at the potential Liga MX winners with Monterrey, Cruz Azul, America. I think Botafogo, man, truly is the best team in the Americas, because not only do they have the incredible offensive firepower that can match up to LA Galaxy, can match up to Racing Club, they have incredible defense. I highlighted this when they won the Copa Libertadores. They went out, they spent money, they splashed cash on that defensive line and said, you know what, we're not going to be exposed in that sector of the pitch. And it actually worked, bro. It delivered. The defense is so sound now. And this team, I think, can really compete with some of the best squads in Europe as well. I'm not saying they can beat them. But at the Club World Cup, we'll finally be able to see how they truly match up against some of Europe and the world's best teams. Incredible, bro. Winning the double. This has to be up there, one of the best years that a club has ever had, because given the context of how little they had won before, to win 2 of the biggest titles like that is insane. It truly is insane. I heard that there was investment from a American owner that played a big role in this. That makes sense to me. And finally, you see the fruits of your labor with that investment paying off. Congratulations to Botafogo, man. This is just a massive, massive victory. I wish I was in Rio de Janeiro right now partying it up, because truly, man, that stadium, those fans, it looks insane, man. Shout out to LA Galaxy and shout out to Botafogo, domestic title winners in their respective countries. Congratulations, folks. So as I mentioned, Saltero is out of studio. So instead, I'm bringing on a special guest. I got a special guest here to talk Premier League ball with me, flying all the way out of England, having recently performed at Joe Rogan's comedy mothership, one of the best comedic talents on the rise. Folks, you've heard of the LeBron James of soccer. Well, welcome to the show. the LeBron James of comedy. Kyle Legacy, folks. Kyle Legacy. Let's go.
I'll clap for myself. I'm not big of a fan of myself. I'll clap for myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And tell the folks, where are you flying in from specifically?
Well, I mean, as you can tell from my accent, I'm from Liverpool. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm literally straight from the cop to this gig. Yeah, but it's good to be here. I mean, this studio is sick, boys.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, it looks like my childhood room. Like, there's jerseys everywhere, and it smells like cum. It's exactly the same.
I mean, people want to know, man, because people been watching the show for a long time, but they never get to actually be here. That's the takeaway, then.
I mean, it is sick, isn't it? Look at everywhere you walk. It's like fucking nostalgia, current, everything. You know what I mean? Right. You got Salah on the wall. You know what I mean? I guess you got to have some American players on as well.
You have to.
Just to make the quota. But yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show, brother. What is crazy is that the one time we have you is the 1 week where Liverpool doesn't get to play.
What the hell?
That's kind of disappointing.
If Jurgen Klopp could see it now, you know what I mean? He would have prayed for the cancellation of a 12:30 game.
Bro.
I know.
And so now with Liverpool not having played, we do have a game in hand. And if anything, I kept eyes on just all the title challengers this weekend.
Exactly.
With basically all of them dropping points except for one team, man, which was Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea pulling off an incredible comeback.
Cole Palmer, though,
against Tottenham.
What do you think about it? I reckon that he's so stupid he doesn't feel the pressure. You reckon that's what it is? You know what I mean? Like, some people are just like, they might get a bit stressed in the moment or something.
Yeah, bro.
Obviously, the greats embrace it, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, Salah's been doing it for season upon season. You know what I mean? It's nothing for him now. But I think he is just like, he doesn't think about anything else. You know what I mean? There's nothing else going on in his mind. Yeah. That he's like, I just got to put this ball in that goal. That's it.
That's what's crazy, because I think there's stats to back that claim, because I think today he became the first Premier League player to score his first 12 penalties in a row or some shit like that.
I mean, they were both pens, whatever, but still.
That second one was crazy to give him the 4-2 lead up on Nenka, dude. That one was cold.
That was wild. Cold, and then Son at the end, but it was just too late, you know what I mean?
And that's Tottenham, though. That's Tottenham, what we're seeing so far. The fact that they were the team that went up 2-0 and then blew that lead, I think, is so on par with what they have been, man,
for sure,
which is truly inconsistent.
I love big Ange, you know what I mean? Like, I spend a lot of time in Australia every year for comedy, so I do love the Australians. You know, they're laid back. They're just funny, aren't they? Like, he's funny.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
They're all just so laid back and chilling, and big Ange just says some funny stuff, I reckon.
That's just frustrating, man. For Tottenham supporters, this is just another representation of how weird of a season it's been.
Fuck off. How do you go down, all of you?
Hey, I gotta be objective on the show.
I want to play Wrexham.
I gotta be objective. Hey, please let it all out, bro. Let it all out.
I mean, I've got no real beef with Tottenham, to be honest. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I love Son as well. So
regardless, I still think this is one of the best victories that Chelsea have gotten this year, because I've been critical of them to start the season because they couldn't beat Man City. They couldn't beat Liverpool. No. They tied Manchester United. They tied Arsenal. And so I'm over here waiting for them to actually get a notable victory for once. Yeah. But what we've seen in the recent weekends or weeks, they beat Aston Villa, which Villa is on a weird form right now.
I mean, they were cooking, but they're starting to slow down a bit now. They got a bit of a slump,
But still, I think getting a victory against Tottenham in these circumstances is pretty impressive, because now, out of all the teams, as I mentioned earlier, they're the ones that are actually in some sort of way challenging for the title now against Liverpool. Do you see Chelsea as actual title contenders?
No, not really. I mean, maybe, I guess, if it depends how they do after the Christmas break and stuff. But for me, it's still like Arsenal, I reckon, probably, to be honest.
I feel like they're playing with house money this year. Like, the fact that they are in second place right now, I think, is more than they had hoped to achieve so far. And so Maresca has been a great manager, I think. But I don't know if I see them as true title contenders to be able to withstand the pressure and win those big games when it's needed.
I don't think. I mean, Sancho, he's playing all right, but he's not gonna. You know what I mean? I don't think
he's a
difference maker. Yeah, he scored today, didn't he? But
they're slowly getting better. I think the version of Chelsea at the end of the year will be so good in comparison to what we've seen at the beginning of the year. Yeah. I just don't know if it's enough to say that they're title victors over Liverpool.
They're creeping, aren't they? They're certainly creeping. Exactly. You know what I mean? They're definitely hanging around there, and they will do. But we'll see, I reckon. Yeah.
Let's move on over to Manchester United. How you feel about Manchester United, bro?
God, I needed a laugh today. God, did I need a laugh. I fucking love that. Obviously, I hate Man City the last 10 years, you know what I mean? Without them, it's our decade, whatever. But I hate Man U the most, you know what I mean? Like, Liverpool fans, we hate Man U more than we hate Everton, you know what I mean? Because Everton are still Scousers. They were just raised wrong, you know what I mean? Getting raised an Everton fan, it's child abuse. It is. It's crazy. They're calling them Ruben in term now, you know what I mean? Like, just get fucking... Well, you can't even have Rude back because Rude's gone to... Where's Rude now?
He's thriving right now at Leicester.
He's at Leicester.
He hasn't lost.
I know, killing it. And then, so fucking Carrick will be back in the dugout sooner or later, don't you? Fucking, but I'm loving it, to be honest.
Manchester United losing to Nottingham Forest, who I will say Nottingham Forest has been solid.
Yo, they've been solid as hell. I like Forest. Exactly, I know.
Yeah, I like them this year. I saw a stat while watching the game. I didn't believe this, but Chris Wood becomes Nottingham Forest's all-time top scorer.
I know.
With 25 goals.
I know, that's great. No, but that's in a season though, isn't it? Or is that that's all time.
All time.
That's crazy, isn't it? Even like back in the day, 70s, when they were winning like Champions League.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They didn't have a guy score 30 goals for them, bro.
And he's Kiwi, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. That's so funny, yeah.
Crazy. So he scored a banger of a header to give them, I think, the lead or tie the match.
Yeah, that was a bit of a whale.
Nottingham Forest wins for the first time at Old Trafford in like over 30 years, I think is what I saw, bro. It's crazy. And my question to you is Amorim the right choice? Is he the right guy? Because he's off to a pretty dreadful start so far.
Yeah.
But I will say the squad that Ten Hag left him is pretty disappointing as well. Is it a bit of both, or is it Amorim? You know, does he need time?
I mean, that's what the managers just need time, don't they? You know what I mean? Any club, you just need time and you need a bit of luck and stuff like that. So he's been dealt a tough hand. I mean, every manager, I guess, if you're taking over a losing side, especially mid-season, it's a tough hand, innit? You know what I mean? So you got to give him time, but I mean, fuck them. I want them to just keep losing. I want them to keep losing, to be honest.
It's a bit of both, man.
I'm not,
I think he needs time. I think I got to be patient with Amorim, but also like Manchester United, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, they just have not been the same. And it's like it's systematic, bro. Like it's history now for them. They cannot figure it out.
And it was like Moyes was groomed almost by Ferguson as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it went like he just left and they got anybody. It was like, this is the one I want. I'm not leaving until we get it. You know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then my favourite is though, every time Ferguson's at the game, if the camera cuts to him, you know they're getting beat. You just know you can walk in and if Ferguson's on the team, you're like, oh, they're getting beat for sure.
It's
they always cut to him when
and he's always like, you can just see the dread in his eyes.
I know.
Let's stay in Manchester.
Yeah.
Let's go to Manchester City.
Okay.
You want to have another good laugh? Well, here's another one. They tied Crystal Palace.
I know.
2-2.
2-2.
Fallout from Pep, man. I'm seeing videos of him on the sidewalk getting riled up by I think Liverpool supporters or whoever.
I told you he's in his Mourinho era. When he's doing this, you know what I mean? You're like, come on, lad. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Scratches his face. And
then likewise, I think a lot of City fans are also harping on the downfall of Kyle Walker, who had another bad performance today. What are your thoughts on Manchester City so far? Because will they bounce back from this? Is this what they are? Should they transition out? Because it kind of reminds me of Liverpool a few years back when we went through our really rough season. I think they need to phase out some of their older players like Gundogan or Kyle Walker, for example, and bring in some fresh talent.
I mean, Gundogan, they just got him back. They got him for free, so it's no loss for them. You know what I mean? Whatever. It'll still come on and probably start some cup games and all that sort of stuff. But it's a transition season for them, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like some players are aging out. De Bruyne's not the player anymore. All like Rodri going, losing them. Foden last year was fucking a beast, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
He was good for a hat-trick last season, same as Holland, but he's been awful, so you know what I mean? That's what it is. Maybe the championship hangover came maybe a year later. I thought it was going to be last year after he won the treble or something, you know what I mean? But maybe it's just been delayed a year. That's all it is.
Here's a question, because you are our Liverpool correspondent here.
Yeah.
Is the hate stronger right now? Is the hate stronger towards Everton fans or City fans in Liverpool?
Oh, it's City fans for sure.
Really?
Well, there's no City fans. What I mean, you have to fly all the way to fucking Saudi Arabia to hate on them.
That's true. What people say, because I'm over here in the States.
It's the empty hat for a reason. You can still buy tickets to Champions League games on the day.
That's crazy.
You see the parade. What are you on at the parade? Just looks like it's a normal bus. You know what I mean? There's nobody around there. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the funniest thing is Grealish getting hammered, but that's about it. Like
no, the last title contender that I would consider as part of this conversation is Arsenal.
Yeah.
And Arsenal as well, dropping points against Fulham, tying 1-1. My boy Raul Jimenez, the Mexican, scoring for Fulham to putting up 1-0. Man, he's been in great form. Shout out to him. But then Arsenal tying the match through yet again, bro. Another set piece goal. And I know we might not feel the best about Arsenal, but still, dude, like, is this not the best set piece or at least corner kicking
Whoever
team
is
that
the
we've
set
seen,
piece coach deserves a fucking raise, doesn't he?
so.
You know what I mean? Deserves a statue there or something.
so,
you know,
bro.
like, it's crazy.
I'm thinking about, I'm 29 years old. I'm 29 years old. In my 29 years of life, I don't think I've ever seen a football team be this effective at corner kicks, man. I can't think of a second, dude. I really can't. Because the way
Roberto Carlos, that Real Madrid.
Were they?
Maybe.
Well, that was more like
I guess
free
they went
kicks.
that was for free kicks, yeah.
Yeah, he had a crazy free kick streak, but even then, I'm talking specifically corners. People know it's coming from Arsenal. They know what to expect, and even then, they can't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you know what's going to happen and you still can't, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy, but it wasn't enough to give them 3 points.
Still not the best corner of all time, and the best corner of all time is fucking Trent Origi. Come on, let's go. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it was barely a corner, it's a pass, really, but still, yeah.
You're absolutely
yeah.
I don't want to cross the line.
I know.
I'm just saying.
That's the best set piece that they probably thought of then and there as well, yeah.
That's true. No, that is true. But I will say Arsenal got back into this game because of that corner kick, but it wasn't enough. They ended up dropping points. They scored a goal later in the game, but it was deemed offside. So that's it for Arsenal, man. But I've been saying
they got the points, you know what I mean?
They got the point. Yeah. But I've been saying this whole pod that they're not a Premier League team this year. They're a UCL focused team.
You reckon, yeah?
Like, I think they might actually go quarterfinals maybe to the UCL. They're not a Premier League team this year, though. I don't think they have the tenacity to do that again.
I mean, that's all they fucking talk about. All the fans. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like I think they want the Prem more than the Champions League. I think, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they definitely want it before we get it for sure. Yeah. But I reckon, quarters, they can make a push for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, we're living large, top of both, aren't we? So.
I think so. And so with Liverpool having a game in hand, I think things are looking very, very good. But I just do want to highlight Chelsea. Scary. Interesting prospect that they pose right now, as they're only 4 points behind us with a game in hand. What a game that we just saw between Cruz Azul and America. El Clásico Joven absolutely delivers. This, in my opinion, is one of the best rivalries in all of the Americas. It felt like watching Liverpool versus Manchester City or Argentina versus Brazil, the way that the crowd was so into this game, the scenes that we saw, the coaches, the players, everybody was invested into this game, including myself, who ultimately didn't have a horse in the race, but was fully entertained with a 4-3 scoreline going towards America's way, who ends up getting qualification into La Final. To me, there were 3 critical moments in this game. 3 critical ones, because there's a lot that happened, and it's tough to really dissect all the chaos that this game saw. But to me, the first critical moment was that Richard Sanchez golazo. Are you kidding me? I haven't seen a goal like that land in so long. He absolutely blasted into the back of the net, lobbing it over the goalkeeper from damn near half pitch, and scores a beauty of a goal. The scenes, the commentary gave me chills. Ridiculous moment where I was like, holy shit, America is going to kill Cruz Azul. They're going to kill them. I just can't believe the way that they went about it. The second critical moment came when Morales scores an absolute worldie of a goal from outside the box. A clean-ass volley that hits the back of the net. Malagon can't do anything. And Cruz Azul secures the comeback to make it 3-3 and give themselves qualification into La Final. That moment was insane. Are you kidding me? From being on 2-0 to bringing the game back to 3-3 after doing the same damn thing to Tijuana, who went up 3-0 on them, and then Cruz Azul does the remontada. Here they are once again in one match, in 20 minutes, scoring 3 goals, while also conceding one in the process, but getting that third goal to give them the confidence, give them the momentum, give them everything they needed to go to the final. What a ridiculous quality goal that Morales scored. I thought it was over. I really did. After seeing that and the scenes, the images, the America players, as if they were just stunned by an incredible Cruz Azul awakening, honestly. But then immediately moments after came the third critical moment, which was El Chiquito Sanchez drawing what I am calling a rightful penalty. I'm sorry, but you look at it, it is a little soft, and Chiquito Sanchez absolutely sells it. But if you're a ref, you gotta buy it. It's a discounted penalty. You gotta buy it. Unfortunate for Cruz Azul fans, especially because it came minutes after having scored that third goal. Literally minutes, bro. And America gets their prayers answered by the Liga MX gods. Penalty given, and it's the one and only Buffalo putting it into the back of the net. Score becomes 4-3. Cruz Azul tries everything they absolutely can. 12 minutes added into this game, ends up becoming 14, 15 minutes. But it's just not enough. America, a team whose narrative going into this game was that they were going to be a very tough out, even though they didn't have a great regular season. They're going to be very tough to knock out in the Liga, proves why they had that narrative against a Cruz Azul team who was one of the best regular season sides we've seen in this league, getting knocked out by America once again. This rivalry is insane. I can't believe it. Let me know your thoughts down below. This game had everything. I feel great. I feel great because I don't have a horse in this race. I don't have a team that I support in either one of these two. I loved it. This game had so much entertainment, and I found myself just absolutely enamored. But if you're a Cruz Azul fan, I definitely am curious to know, how do you feel after a result like this? And America now finds themselves in a final, despite all the drama that they faced and all the injuries that they faced throughout the season. They see themselves now with a place in the final, and honestly, in my opinion, as the favorites, as they're now set to face off against Monterrey, who mollywopped San Luis at the end of the day with a crazy aggregate score, I believe, of 6-3. Having been down 2-1 in the first leg, but then the second leg at home in Monterrey, they flip it completely with the scoreline of 5-1, I believe. Jeez, man. Scoreline made it look way worse than it actually was because Atletico San Luis kept it close for a good amount of time, and they had a shot at maybe getting that second goal to give them the lead, but after that third goal came from Monterrey, this game was done. They get the fourth, they get the fifth. They spank Atletico San Luis out of this tournament, and we have a Monterrey America final, a matchup between two huge names in this region. I'm going to give it to you straight the way I always do. I'm not going to bullshit here. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to let my bias take over because remember, I am a Chivas de Guadalajara fan. All right, I would die for my team, and I will never, ever put on an America jersey, or I will never, ever support the America squad. But what I am doing right now, as a person who makes predictions on a football channel online, that I hope you're subscribed and that you liked and commented and you thumbs up the video on, am going to say that America is going to win this title, folks. They're going to. They're going to get the three-peat. The impossible has become possible. One of the greatest dynasties that this league has seen will become official next week, starting on Thursday, transitioning into Sunday. America will lift the title over a Monterrey team that I just see as weaker. I don't see any other team knocking out this America side if it wasn't going to be Cruz Azul. I'm sorry. I got to be honest. I think it's America who's going to lift the trophy. And Monterrey will put up a great fight because they do have quality talent. They can match up with America, at least in that sense. But when it comes to team cohesion, when it comes to team confidence right now, the mentality of this America team, I think it's ridiculous that they made now their third final in a row. They've won two already. What's going to stop them from winning that third one? I really don't think there's anything out there that can, if I'm being honest. America, champions of Liga MX once again is my prediction. But please, let me know. Who do you have winning Liga MX? And since we're in the topic of the Americas, I mentioned it before. This is the important time right now for teams in the Americas, leagues in the Americas. So we're deciding our winners at this moment in this November-December transition. And right now, there is a title race that you have to become aware of that's happening in South America. And no, it is not the Brazilian one because that one is done with Botafogo winning it. We're actually going to go to their neighbors, Argentina. Argentina has a crazy title race setting itself up for the next week that comes. The Argentine league title will come down to the very last match between two teams, Talleres and Vélez Sarsfield. Vélez Sarsfield has led the league for the majority of the season, honestly. Every time I check in on the league, they're always up top. And at one point, they had a pretty decent, sizable lead. Wasn't double digits, I believe, at any point, maybe 8. But they look like the favorites from a long time ago. Well, Talleres has been slowly chipping away at the lead all the way up to now where they see themselves tied with Vélez on points with only goal differential being the only thing coming between both these teams, with Vélez having a plus 20 goal differential and Talleres with a plus 9. Talleres today defeated Gimnasia to get 3 points to put themselves equal to Vélez with 48 points overall. And now it all comes down to one game. One game where Talleres faces off against Newell's Old Boys, who are in 25th place, and Vélez facing off against Huracan, who is in 5th place. That's dangerous. That is real dangerous. As Vélez wants to go on and win the title as they've looked to do so this entire season, they're going to have to do it against a much tougher opponent. Vélez last won this title in 2013, whereas Talleres has never won this title in their entire league history. So you tell me who you want to win here, man, because we're talking about the team that, maybe deserves it more. Talleres might be that squad given the story that they have and how long their fans have yearned for that title. But Vélez has been the favorite. They have. But now they have to earn the title on the final match day. Imagine they tie Huracan and you look over the Talleres scoreline and they're killing Newell's Old Boys. Then it's over. Talleres ends up lifting the title and things could go very, very bad. Kind of similar to what Botafogo did last year when Palmeiras won it over them. It could be a similar vibe here in terms of a choke job happening in Argentina. So December 15th, Sunday, 3 p.m. Central. You translate that to your time zone. Watch the Argentine lead on Paramount Plus, because the league title is coming down to the very last game. Personally, if I'm making my prediction, man, I think this is tough, but I do think Vélez will pull it off. I think they'll pull it off. I think regardless of the circumstance at hand, they need this title. They need this title. And I do hope that they end up winning it, because for Talleres, it's almost like they're stealing one. They have a chance to steal a title here, having never been first place in the league. Let's go to La Liga, where we continue having crazy title race drama with Barcelona dropping points yet again, this time against Real Betis in a game that ended 2-2. Yamal starts this game, and he does absolutely everything in his power to try to will Barcelona to 3 full points, but just couldn't make it happen, man. He had some insane runs in this game. There's one specifically that everyone's talking about where he glides on that right side and looks like prime Messi, honestly, in that Barcelona jersey. Hands it off to Ferran Torres, who makes an embarrassment of himself trying to swing at the ball and score the goal. It deserved a goal, that run from Yamal. And I think Yamal specifically has everyone raving after yet another incredible performance. So I want to make sure to highlight him, because I think it's clear that he's the focal point of this team and he's the engine that makes this team truly run at their best level. The problem is the defense, man. The defense continues to worry me. It really does. Hansi Flick is stubborn about his high line, and they continue to get exposed. Whether it's the midfielders playing defensively or if it's that defensive back line, it's too open. It's too easy. And if a team can pass around that like Betis did, it can look dangerous, man, like truly. And Betis took full advantage. I thought they deserved the point in this game, that they honestly played very well against a Barcelona team who leaves themselves a little too open at times, relying too heavily on that high line. So Hansi Flick getting a red card in this game, sent up to the stands. I mean, it was that type of match for Barcelona. I think Yamal was one of the few bright spots. Frenkie de Jong with that, soft penalty, tough call. Honestly, a really tough call, but you have to endure if you're a Barcelona fan, and honestly, they should have been able to put this game away. The problem is Ferran Torres as well isn't the best finisher, although he did get a goal in this game. I've seen a lot of Barca fans say the same thing to me. They want more striker depth, because if Leva isn't in, how else do you get goals? That's also an interesting proposition for Barcelona right now, because you can't rely on your wingers to do everything. Rafinha and Yamal are cooking and playing at the highest of levels. You need to have a backup striker that can at least hold their own. And I've never thought Ferran Torres can be that guy. Even back from his Valencia and City days, I've never seen it with Ferran Torres. And even right now with Barcelona, I don't think he's Barca level. Send that dude over to like Las Palmas, man. They could use a guy like him. Give him full responsibility up front, and maybe then you can see a better version of Ferran Torres. But right here, he ain't the guy to finish off these opportunities for you. And so I'm seeing questions up front right now. I'm seeing questions in that back line and even in the midfield with what we saw from De Jong. So it's a weird phase right now for Barcelona. And it's tough because they have reached incredible highs this year, but I'm disappointed that they haven't been able to maintain that consistently. That is not a good sign. And I hope that this doesn't come into play in the Champions League, because that's where I see them actually contending as well. Barca is slowly losing the grip on the league title now. as Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid are doing their absolute best to take over. They both have a game in hand at the moment, and Real Madrid sits only 2 points behind Barcelona, whereas Atletico Madrid sits 3 points behind. Real Madrid defeating Girona, I think one of their better results this year, 3-0. Girona actually started this match with some opportunities, I would call mostly half chances, but possessing the ball in Real Madrid's own half. Problem is, you just can't really create much, man. Like, every time I watch Bryan Gil, I'm always left wanting more. Every single time. Like, even his last name, I feel like it should be more. Like, Gilberto, right? And I think that represents his play style. You watch him, you want more. You see his name, you want more. It just ain't right, bro. And Girona, I think, has shown this entire year that they're not the same team as they were in the past. So, Gazaniga can only keep you in a game for so long, and it eventually faltered with Bellingham getting a goal. Don't remember who scored the second one, but I do remember seeing Mbappe score that third goal. A good goal with a really good run behind the line. Puts the game away, but it's tough for me to give full credit to Mbappe here. The game was done. It was done, and he actually missed a crazy offside one-on-one opportunity, just completely putting it past the post on the right side. I'm still worried for Mbappe. I'm still worried. I'm sorry. You can talk about the numbers. That's fine. That really is fine because Mbappe is going to produce numbers. But I'm talking about wanting the best version of Mbappe, the most elite version, because that's the version that Real Madrid needs when Vinny Jr. is out. That's the version that Real Madrid needs in order to go on a crazy Champions League run. If you don't have that version, I don't think you can offensively at the very least. So I'm still wanting more from Mbappe, but it is a good thing that he got a goal today to at least maybe give him more form, more momentum going into the next match. I think Bellingham has been playing great football so far too, and this was a good result overall. Shutting out, getting a clean sheet against Girona, and putting themselves in position now to take the lead over Barcelona once they fulfill that game in hand. And the last game to review is a game that I wish Saltero was here to react to with me. Atletico Madrid, Sevilla, 4-2-3. Jesus Christ almighty, man. Oh my God. I, at one point, was equally frustrated at Atletico Madrid as Saltero has been these past few weeks after seeing the scoreline and seeing that they were down 3-1 at one point to the Sevilla side. Have you seen Sevilla play, bro? Have you seen them kick a football? They have been terrible this year, man. Terrible. And I honestly can't believe the performance that they put up today in the Atletico Madrid stadium. I can't believe it because they essentially outplayed themselves. My God. That was one of the best performances I would say that they've had this entire season. And it's a game which they lost. Because going up 3-1 with golazos from Luque Bacchio, I mean, my God, dude. That first goal to tie the result up to make it 1-1. Ridiculous with the step overs from the top left corner of the box, steps through, creates space, blasts it into the bottom left corner. Oblak barely even sees it. It's 1-1, complete momentum shift for Sevilla, and then they go on to score 2 more goals. I mean, what? Crazy. But the whole time I'm thinking, this is the Atleti side that Salt is talking about. This is what he's warning me about. This is what he's trying to communicate to me, is that this Atleti side just ain't it when it comes to needing points and delivering, because this was a golden opportunity going into this game to get 3 points in a week where Barcelona once again dropped points and actually putting themselves in the title race. They go down 3-1 and De Paul has a different mission in mind. He completely shows out, man. What a performance in this roller coaster of a game that ultimately is sealed by the one and only Antoine Griezmann. Game winner. Match is tied 3-3, 92nd minute. Ball comes in, heavy ball comes in, tough to control. But Griezmann says, I've got that French touch. I've got that French touch. Let me just fiddle with it. Let me just tickle the ball. And the way he brings it down in stride so that he can perfectly whack it into the back of the net with his left foot was mesmerizing. Mesmerizing. The moment you saw him reach the end of that touch, you knew that ball was going into the back of the net. Smashes it, makes it 4-3, takes off his jersey. Antoine motherfucking Griezmann, one of, if not the best Atleti player of all time. What a career, what a story, what a player. Giving Atleti 3 points in this match and now putting them 3 points behind Barcelona with a game in hand. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Side note. I saw a question on Twitter that made me wonder some things. Is Antoine Griezmann the best player this generation by behind Ronaldo and Messi? Process that question. Process it. Because I had to as well. I really got to thinking about it. Behind Ronaldo and Messi, when we look at accolades, when we look at durability, when we look at skills, numbers, everything, what player actually lands at number 3? Because I think everyone's quick to say Neymar. And if we're talking about skill and talent, absolutely, no question. Problem with Neymar is that injury record. It really, really is, man. It's that injury record, and you can even say achievements a little bit too, because outside of his glory days with Barcelona, hasn't really achieved much outside of winning, league titles in France and, falling short with the Brazilian national team as well. So who really is number 3? Is it Antoine Griezmann, a man who started playing football in 2009 and made a name for himself by 2014 with Real Sociedad, makes the move to Atletico Madrid, ends up taking that responsibility of being Atletico Madrid's go-to offensive guy, whether it comes to scoring goals or facilitating goals, ends up 3rd in a Ballon d'Or race at one point, plays with France, wins World Cups as well, plays during the peak of France's run, and then continues to play at a high level consistently with Atletico Madrid. Let's forget about those Barca days. Let's not mention that. Let's stay in Atletico Madrid. I think Griezmann has an argument. I think he has an argument because the other players that could have one, I think, are guys like Lewandowski. I think Benzema has a shout. Eden Hazard, I think, peak version of himself was very good. Mo Salah, I think, has a shout. But honestly, I think it's, when it comes to that third player, I think it's make your pick. I'm going to go Mo Salah, because I've seen what he's done for Liverpool and what he's achieved for even the Egyptian national team. But man, if you're an Atleti fan like Salts, I don't see why you wouldn't be saying that. Because I do think there's enough evidence to support that claim that Antoine Griezmann is the best player behind Messi and Ronaldo. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments, because I'm curious to see what y'all's opinion is on Griezmann and where does he stand in the ranks of all-time offensive greats. And then my last question becomes this one. Is Atleti actually a La Liga contender? I keep flipping back and forth because in one ear, I got Saltero. And I got Saltero's pessimism. I got him pointing out all the flaws of this team. I got him telling me about all the whack players that y'all have right now and how much they underachieve and how hopeless this team can look at times. And the defense, my God, the defense. You allowed 3 goals to Sevilla today. I got that in one ear. But then in the other, I got Diego Simeone. I got Giuliano Simeone. I got Antoine Griezmann. I got the league table, which is telling me that you're only 3 points behind the title leaders right now with the game in hand. What am I supposed to do here? Because if I'm truly thinking about it, I mean, we're almost halfway through the season. Could they actually be contenders? If I'm being honest, I'll give you an official answer after 30 games. Unfortunately, I do still think it's too soon for Atleti. I do. For Real Madrid and Barcelona, I mean, they're always going to be contenders. That makes sense. But for Atleti, it comes down to performances throughout an entire year and what version do we actually see from them, because they are so back and forth. They have to give me more evidence that they're title contenders than, Real Madrid or Barcelona. That's just the way it is with Atletico Madrid. So for now, I'm going to actually say no. I'm actually going to say no. But if they're here, 3 points behind with 30 games already in, then I think I would consider that Atleti team contenders. Y'all let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below, because this Atletico Madrid team is an enigma, man. And I'm just curious if they can, turn into a stronger team as the season progresses, or if we've already seen them peak throughout this crazy, crazy season. Regardless, guys, thank you so much for watching this show. It's been a hell of an episode, and we'll be back this week with lots of Champions League coverage and the return of Saltero. Till next time, guys. Peace.